I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse. Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Applied myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Unfazed with your boys JJ and Ajae. And we got a great episode planned for you all today. Obviously, NBA playoffs, we into the second round. We haven't done a show yet to start the second round. So this is our first time speaking on these second round matchups. Obviously, we got to talk about the Lakers and the Thunder. The Lakers look like they might get swept. Will they? We will discuss. The Spurs and the Wolves tied at 1 apiece, going back to Minnesota. So obviously we're going to get to that. The Sixers, them boys looking like it's a little, they might lose again tonight. The game is live right now. I got to double check the score. Last time I checked, it was like 103 to 89. So that's looking a little dangerous. We got to talk about them as well. I know that's my boy JJ Joe Jordan's dangerous team right there, his most scariest team, right? And then we got to talk about the Cavs as well, who are down 0-2 to the Detroit Pistons. But before we get to all of that, I got to ask my boy JJ Joe Jordan, with about 70 people in the building. How you doing? How you feeling today, my boy?
Man, I'm feeling good. Feel good to be back on stream, and talking sports. Shout out to my boy Cav in the combo section. It's that combo. Cavo in the combo. In the comment section. And AJ, you being a Philly fan, I don't think your Philadelphia Eagles fan base would like the hat you're wearing right now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. I don't think they would like it too much, so I'm just saying. But I'm doing good, though.
That's the thing about me, man. Like, unfortunately, I rock with the Birds. I rock with the Eagles. But as far as the Sixers are concerned, man, I can't do it. You know what I mean? If we ain't talking about the Lakers and we ain't talking about the Wolves, we ain't talking about that. That's just kind of how I feel about it, man. So it's kind of the way I'm rocking. But speaking of those 76ers, I got to double check the score. Now, before we started today's episode, it was before when we came up with the planning for the episode, it was before, obviously, the game started. And our question was, at the time, down obviously 0-2, are the 76ers in trouble? And right now, I got to double check the score, but it looked like it's a pretty obvious answer to this question.
106-91.
Oh, yeah. It's a wrap. So
2 minutes left.
Joe, I mean, let's just ask, what are your thoughts right now on the Sixers looking like they're about to go down 3-0 to the New York Knicks?
Man, hey, first, before I go into that, I'm going to be honest with all my picks. All right, because I know we haven't talked about Unfazed on Unfazed about who we got on each series. We're deep into the series. I'm going to give y'all my honest pick before the series started. I had the Sixers in 7. And if you've been watching Unfazed, you know my dark horse team were the 76ers. And what they do, they go in and upset Boston. Great win. They came out game 1, AJ, and they got blown out. I didn't look too much of that game because I felt like they were too emotionally invested into the Boston Celtics series. They never – Joel Embiid's his first time beating Boston in a 7-game series. First time winning a game 7. Like, we talked about this behind the scenes. We got some emotional game 7 losses for Joel Embiid. We're talking about the Kawhi Leonard bounce in game 7. We're talking about the Ben Simmons don't shoot a layup but rather pass the ball over Trae Young game 7. We're talking about Jason Tatum scoring a 50-point game in game 7 against 76ers. So he hasn't had a good deal of hand when it comes to game 7. And he finally wins one and he plays well. Game 2 comes back, and guess what? Oh yeah, shout out to my boy Vaughn. Just got married on his honeymoon right now.
Yes,
I
sir.
know
Shout
he's
out
on
to
fire,
him.
as his emoji say.
Shout out to him. Congratulations.
Welcome to the family. You feel me? Welcome to the family, my boy.
Yes,
There it is. Hold up.
Rocking that jury, man. Congrats.
There it is. But so game 2 came. Joel Embiid didn't play, so I'm like, he's not playing because he's resting. They're gonna throw up an injury report, but it just played a hard-fought 7-game series. My thing is, if you're gonna rest them, you should have did that game 1. That's how I look at it, right? They lose game 2, but they could have won game 2. But you watch that game 2, you like, dang, if they would have had a closer like Embiid, they probably would have won this game. And then game 3 comes and look like this. So look, here's my analysis of the whole series. It comes down to one person, AJ. Tyrese Maxey. Tyrese Maxey. Do you know before game 3, before tonight's game, Tyrese Maxey, 12 from 32 from the field, 1 from 9 from 3, 8 assists, 10 turnovers. Can't happen. When you got Jalen Brunson on the other side, 21 for 39 from the field, which is over 50%, 4 from 11 from 3, 9 assists, 4 turnovers. So he's been brutally outplayed by Jalen Brunson. Am I saying Tyrese Maxey is better than? No, I think Jalen Brunson is better. But Tyrese Maxey got to bring more to the table. He had to bring that same energy he brought when they went against the Boston Celtics, and he did not do that. I look at the numbers right now as we speak when they're playing. Tyrese Maxey right now. Okay, 8 for 12. He actually having a good game. 8 for 12. But he only got, last time I checked, he got, how many points he got? 17? Come on, AJ. This is a do-or-die game at home, game 3. You got to win this game. You go down 0-3, you lose. But I look at Jalen Brunson. I didn't even look at his numbers, but I bet you 33 point, 11 from 22. That's the biggest difference. Yeah, we can point out Joel Embiid, all that stuff. But the point guard matchup, and Joel Embiid is not playing well either. He didn't play well game 1 either. He only got 18 points right now. But Tyrese Maxey is the one that I thought would come out and have a great series. Where Joel Embiid just played a tough series. I knew he was going to not play the whole series. So I figured Tyrese Maxey would pick up that load like he did it last time they played New York. And he's not doing it. I don't think OG is playing tonight either because he's dealing with that injury. OG is out. So this was an opportunity for them. They missed a golden opportunity to be up 2-1 because they could have won game 2. So looking back at this series right now, I'm just punching myself like, why did I pick Philly? New York is the overall better team. All right. Now, do they have the best player? I could say Embiid's the best player, but is he gonna be there 7 games? Not only that, New York Knicks just went to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. We are raving about what the Sixers did to Boston. Do we not forget what New York did to Atlanta? Like, did we not forget what they just did to Atlanta? Beat them by 50 points, bro. So don't get me wrong. I'm upset that the Sixers are looking this bad against New York. But New York, they are up 3-1 now. The game is over, 108-94, and they're going to win the series.
Yeah, so Joe said it best. Before we get into the breakdown of the series, we are going to discuss who we had going into this series winning. Remember, in the offseason, and I believe before the playoffs started, I said I'm not ready to jump off the Knicks bandwagon just yet, okay? Because I like what I'm seeing. Now, that first round had me a little scared, okay? That first round made me a little nervous. I'm like, yo, we got to find a way to get, remember I said this, Karl Anthony Towns more involved in the offense. Now, full disclosure, at the time, I was talking about him being aggressive scoring the basketball. What I did not know is the adjustment that they ultimately ended up making. But before I get to that, like I said, I had the Knicks winning this series. So I didn't want to jump off the bandwagon. I had the Knicks winning this series in 7 games. I thought it would be a longer series only because I look at the Sixers and what they just did to the Boston Celtics. In my mind, before the series started, I assumed Embiid was going to be there. You got Maxey, you got Paul George, right? You got Edgecombe. I'm looking at them talent for talent like, yo, like Joe said it best. This is one of the more dangerous teams in the postseason. Not only roster-wise, but the way they play, they just knocked out a team that I thought would potentially challenge the Knicks to come out of the Eastern Conference. If somebody told me before the playoffs started, hey, the Celtics are going to the finals, it wouldn't have shocked me, right? Because I thought the Celtics, for the most part, when Tatum came back, were the best team in the Eastern Conference. And so when I'm looking at the Sixers, I'm like, yo, they're playing well. They're hot. They just came off an emotional game 7. But this is more about the Knicks, Joe, than it is about the Sixers. And I'm going to say this. As I pull up these numbers right now. I think right now the New York Knicks may very well be one of the hottest teams in it. I think outside of OKC, and I think they're rivaling OKC right now as the hottest team in the postseason. They are extremely dangerous right now. They are playing extremely confident. Everybody is playing at a high level. They winning games by 30, 40 points. They coming out tonight with an edge. You know, a team goes up 2-0, they come out lax. We're going to talk about the Wolves in a little bit, even though they just wasn't up 2-0. They was up 1-0. They got a little lax. When it comes to the Knicks, I'm watching the game before we go live. I'm like, yo, they trying to put their foot on these guys' throat right now. And it starts. Again, I'm going to drill this point home. Karl-Anthony Towns. No, he's not being aggressive as far as scoring the basketball, but they're putting the ball in his hands and allowing him to be the playmaker, allowing him to be the distributor. And it has opened up the offense entirely, right, for the New York Knicks. Even Bridges now, who struggled all season long, giving you 16, 17, 20-something points now, right? Obviously, we already know what Brunson is going to give you, right, offensively, but it takes him from in front of the defense 24/7. Now, he can get a couple screens, couple backdoor cuts. Now, he can get some easier baskets, right? And then it keeps Karl-Anthony Towns engaged on the defensive side of the ball too, because he's played very well on the defensive side of the ball. And so these guys are playing scrappy. They're playing offensively the right way. They are hot in large part, I believe, because their big man, one of the more talented big men in the league, is more involved, distributing, scoring when need be. But just the mere fact that you're touching the ball almost every time down right now, I mean, the question answers itself. Yeah, they're in trouble. They're down 3-0. It's over with. Nobody expected this. But the Knicks, I'd argue, are the hottest team in the postseason right now. OKC is OKC. We understand they haven't lost a game yet, so we get it. We get it. But the way the Knicks are playing right now against, in my opinion, competition that's better at the moment, seeding wise, right, because of who OKC has played. I think the Knicks. I think I might stay on that Knicks to the finals bandwagon, bro. I might just do it, bro. I might just do it.
So you're right, Karl-Anthony Towns. Shout out to my boy Mike Brown. You know what I mean? That's what he did with us with DeMontis Sabonis. He put the ball in his hands and let the offense run through him. And that's why I was screaming to Udoka to do with the Houston Rockets, just running through Sengun. Yeah, so you look at Karl-Anthony Towns, like you said, in the last 3 games against this very team, or against the Hawks, he had 10 assists, and then he had 6 assists, 7 assists, and I think he got 7 assists tonight also. All right, so running through him, like you said, him touching the ball almost every possession, it builds that confidence in that player. Because when you don't touch the ball for multiple plays at a time, you kind of get disengage yourself from the situation. And we kind of saw that with Karl-Anthony Towns, right? Like his body language wasn't there. I remember one time he got a block and he didn't even get hype. And T-Mac was like, "It's something there." I remember T-Mac was mentioning like, you get a block like that and you don't really get excited. Like there's something there, you know, because he's not touching the ball. So him touching the ball every single play, like you said, is better for the rest of it. And then your best player, Jalen Brunson, your point guard, is more of a scorer anyway. You know, so it's probably best if you go that route anyway. So shout out to the Knicks, man. Go ahead.
I also want to quickly mention this too. Josh Hart. We know what Josh Hart is defensively. We know he's the Energizer Bunny. But I like to see him offensively play aggressive as well and get shots up, even if they're not falling. I remember last year watching him in the playoffs, and I believe I put it in the NBA chat. I'm like, why won't he shoot at all? Like, we acting like this guy can't score offensively. He can. He's not a guy that's going to give you 20, 30, 40, right? But he can give you, I mean, we see he gave you 14 against the Hawks. He gave you 12 tonight. He can give you something to where the defense has got to play him remotely, honestly. I remember last year, I mean, guys playing 30 feet off of him because he's not willing to shoot the ball. So that alone, again, like, I think the Knicks are playing high-level basketball. They're playing confident basketball, which is the most important thing. And I think, like I said, man, the Knicks looking like the team to beat, in my opinion, in the Eastern Conference.
And he hit a big 3 in game 2.
Yeah,
I think the Sixers came down. I think it was PG hit a 3, and Josh Hart came right down and hit a 3. I was like, Josh Hart. So you're right.
Right.
You're right. Shout out to you. But Let's see you right about this right here. Because the Spurs and the Timberwolves are tied 1-1 in the second round. You got Wemby, first time playing against like a true contender in the playoffs. And they lost game one. Came out, lost game one. Anthony Edwards was not supposed to play. He miraculously made game one. Came off the bench, made game two also, and they got blown out. Now they play in game three. Right now, as we speak, the Spurs are up 6-1 with 9:15 left in the quarter. So you said the first 3 minutes, Timberwolves got 1 point so far, right? And but the question is this, similar to we did last round with the Nuggets and the Timberwolves. Will the Spurs take back home court advantage against the Timberwolves? Floor is yours, AJ.
Now, before this series started, y'all know how I feel about the Minnesota Timberwolves. Y'all know I rock with the Wolves. But I said before the playoffs started, I said I'm gonna go out on the limb and I'm gonna say the San Antonio Spurs will win the championship. I just flat out said it. I think at this point, Wemby is who he is, right? The team is still young, right? But I think that Wemby is gonna just take his game to another level. I haven't really seen. Like, Wemby has played well. I haven't seen him play as dominant as I'm expecting 30 point, 12 rebounds. I'm expecting crazy game. He hasn't really given you that, but his presence has still been felt throughout this postseason run, right? And then I was also impressed at the fact that the Spurs got through a game against Portland without Wemby. So that was okay, they're capable of winning games without Wemby as well in the postseason. It's one thing to do it in the regular season, but in the postseason, that's special. I don't care who it's against. So going into this series, with that in mind, Anthony Edwards dealing with his injury, not knowing at the time if he was going to be ready for game one, right? Also, Ajae having his injury, Dante DiVincenzo having his injury. In my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm rocking with the Spurs, and I got the Spurs winning this series in 6 games. Because my assumption was Ant is going to come back at some point. I didn't think it would be game one. Now, I'm not gonna change it, but if I could change it, I would probably change it to Spurs in 7. I would still give it to the San Antonio Spurs. I think when it comes to the Minnesota Timberwolves right now, right, I think the injuries are killing them. I really do. I think Ajae being hurt right now he came back last game. He really didn't quite look like himself, right? Only played 10 minutes, was 0-4. Anthony Edwards is on the minutes restriction right now, and it's cool. He looked okay, but he's not attacking the basket the same way he was. You know, the athleticism isn't quite there. He can still shoot from the outside, he can still shoot 3, the turnaround fade, and all of that. But he's clearly not 100% of himself. And I look at this team in general. I think when it comes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, we saw in game one, Wemby came out and felt like 20 blocks. A lot of them goaltending, but he still made his presence felt. And then in game two, they just refused to attack the basket, at all. So I'm interested in seeing how they play it this game, because at the end of the day, they came out after game one and said they was going to keep challenging them. They don't care. Right, Terrence Shannon Jr. said he was gonna punch on them one of these games. They was talking like they wasn't afraid, and they came out in game two not attacking the basket at all. I look at the Spurs as a team right now. I'm waiting on Wemby to have his moment. I'm waiting on Wemby to have his game. I don't think it happens tonight, but I do think it happens in game 4, because I think the Wolves are gonna win tonight. I think the Wolves are a team that they have dog in them, but I also think that they thrive in certain moments, if that makes sense. For example, Anthony Edwards. Nobody expected Ant to come back. Ant came back, and I felt like they rolled that emotional high into a win. It got ugly towards the very end, but I felt like they rolled that emotional high into a win. And then by the time game 2 rolled around, the Spurs were desperate. The Spurs were playing out of their mind. It started off the game terrible, both teams, right, offensively. Right, but as the game progressed, the Spurs kind of got into their bag, and the Wolves just defensively, offensively, just didn't have it all night. This is one of those nights. First game back at home, Anthony Edwards already came out and said our fans gonna be falling all over the place. They're gonna be drunk. They're gonna be hollering, right? I think they ride that emotional high this game, but I think game 4 that goes away, and I think that the Spurs find a way to respond. They still game 4 and snatch home court back. So I just think at this point in time, the Spurs. If the Wolves were completely healthy, I would feel differently about the series. And I know this is Unfazed, you want to have bold takes, but I think this series for me has a lot to do with the Wolves being banged up than it does the Spurs. being the actual overall better team. So I got the Spurs winning in 7, and I got them still on home court back in Game 4.
All right. So before this series, okay, you said something in your last point. You said it earlier too when you kind of reiterated. You said that the Spurs. It says more about the Timberwolves of not being healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a factor, right? And on top of that, the Spurs are an overall better team, in my opinion. They are.
You said they are or they aren't?
They are.
They are. If the Wolves are completely healthy.
The Wolves are completely healthy. The Spurs are an overall better team.
That's a tough take.
If I just take out the starting
playoffs,
lineup,
that's a tough take in my
opinion.
If
I just take the starting lineup, let's do this. All right.
Okay.
We got Anthony Edwards. Okay, Wemby. Okay, give me Wemby. Anthony Edwards is there though, but give me Wemby though. I'm sorry. His presence will be felt more on both sides of the ball. Then you got Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox. Okay. Some people could be a toss-up. De'Aaron Fox is a point guard, floor general. Julius Randle is just a scorer. I mean, what else you gonna bring to the table for me, for real? And he's a good defender. Third best player, you got Jaden McDaniels and you got Stephon Castle. Okay, that's a good matchup right there. I mean, you can probably go with Jaden McDaniels, you could, but there's gonna be some time when Stephon Castle do his thing, And then who else we got after that? We got Rudy Gobert, and then the Spurs. It would be maybe who played power forward for the Spurs? Is it hold on. Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox. Oh, then you got Champagne Penny. Then the starting get a little thin, but then off the bench, you got I can't even think of his name right now. You got
Harrison Barnes.
You got not Harrison Barnes. You got my boy Rook. Oh my goodness, Dylan Harper off the bench. You got Keldon Johnson off the bench. Like you said, you had Harrison Barnes off the bench. So like, I think collectively as a team, the Spurs are better. Also, okay, before the series started, I picked the Spurs also, and I picked them at 5, AJ. Now, I did not expect the Timberwolves to win Game 1, but I'm going to stick with my 5, all right? The reason why I went 5 not 6 is because of Anthony Edwards' injury. I feel like it's going to be a big factor. This is not Denver. One thing that they said about Denver, well, first of all, they know Denver.
Right.
All right? I feel like the Timberwolves have a mental edge over Denver. Let's start there. You mentioned that. And secondly, he said himself, they don't play defense. I mean, this Spurs team is the complete opposite of that. I mean, they are one of the best defensive teams in the league, and it's being proven tonight. The score is 11-1. They got 1 point, and then 6 minutes went by in the first quarter. That's crazy. Another reason why I picked this in 5, Victor Wembanyama. Like you said, we waiting for this moment. I think his moment will be tonight. You know why? Because Game 1 happened, and he didn't shoot well. He shot 29% from the field. He had 12 blocks, though, but he didn't shoot well from the field, 0 from 8 from 3. He came out the second game, and he was ultra aggressive in the early. Boom. Aggressive, taking shots. And then they end up getting a big lead. He didn't play after that, and then they won. Tonight, let me look at numbers. 6 shots already. 9 points out of 11 points. He's aggressive already. So I feel like this is going to be that game when he come out and try to stomp on the Timberwolves' neck. Kind of like that mindset you said the Knicks had today against the 76ers. That's what I'm seeing from Victor Wembanyama. And you know how it is. I said it's a call last night in the chat. We're going to get to this series. But I'm going to mention when the series comes. But when your best player is playing well and the rest of the team is not, if that best player keep playing well long enough, the rest of the team is going to just come around, right? And I think that's going to happen tonight with the Spurs. So, but I do have to give the Timberwolves a lot of credit, AJ. I have to because, and not just the Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards, man. Now, the Timberwolves is always that team you see in the playoffs. You might have a different eye because you cover them and everything. But when you have an eye like me and you see them from afar, you like, they're not winning this. They're not going to the finals. Like you look at the team, like this team is not NBA finals. Like, and then you look at Anthony Edwards. You compare him to the other superstars. He has not had that MVP type year yet. He's not in that conversation of best player. Right. Jokic is, SGA is, Wemby is, and all these guys we're naming, in my opinion, got a better supporting cast than Anthony Edwards. But Anthony Edwards shows up against Luka Doncic, right?
Mm-hmm.
He shows up against these players, and then for some reason, his team plays above what my expectations is every time in the playoffs. So even if they lose to the Spurs, I did not expect them to go up 3-1 against Jokic and the Nuggets, bro. I did not expect that. He gets injured and they still win a game. Now we could not. People could take away from the star player because of that, but that's a testament to his leadership, in my opinion. He rubbed off on this team. He built that confidence, like, yo, we're not scared. Why y'all think Jaden McDaniels is talking like he's talking in the media? It's because of Anthony Edwards. We don't need KD. We got Jaden McDaniels. Everybody thought he was wilding, but look at KD breaking bounce every year in the first round. When Jaden McDaniels is going to the Western Conference Finals every single year, outside of this year, by the way. But you get my point.
Right.
So shout out to Anthony Edwards. I want to give him his flowers for a second. You know, I feel like he's a superstar that we want to elevate, but he's just not showing us that in the regular season. But in the playoffs, he is showing us that. I don't give him his flowers. But Spurs up 14-3. Give me the Spurs, man. 5.
It's still dang, okay. It's still it's still early. It's the first quarter, you know. Runs come and they go. You know what I mean? Like the Wolves, they'll get it going. They'll go on the run. And it's just, for me, like I said, I want to go back to your original point. Fully healthy, meaning Dante's out there, Anthony Edwards is 100%, Ajae is 100%. Like I feel what you're saying when you line it up like player for player. But when you watch how this team plays in the postseason, and has played in the postseason over the last few years, they often, like you said it best, they outperform what you expect. They've done it now 2 straight years. Nobody over these last 2 straight years had them going to the conference finals.
3, bro.
I mean, yeah. Has it been 3 straight or has it been 2 straight?
No, I'm saying this year they exceeded expectations.
Oh yeah.
This is the third year.
So that's why I say, like, in the playoffs, you just never know who's gonna have a day. It could be Ant, it could be Julius Randle, it could be McDaniels. He just went off for 30 in game. What was that? Game 6 against Denver. Like, he had a moment. Ayo, had a moment. Rudy has been great defensively all postseason long. Terrence Shannon Jr. finally getting some playing time. Would you look at that, and playing very well. Naz Reid can hit shots from the outside. They got a lot of different players and a lot of experience to lean on, which is why I'm like, the Spurs, I guess, got to show me that for a postseason run. And maybe this series will show me. But they got to show me for a postseason run that they're capable of doing what the Wolves have done now, which is not only the star play well, but the role players around the star, when the star ain't playing well, rise up. We just talked about how the Spurs beat the Blazers, right, without Wemby. Beating the Blazers without Wemby is completely different than beating the Nuggets without Ant. I mean, come on now. I mean, that's crazy to me, right? And so in a do or die game, I understand the Nuggets didn't have Aaron Gordon, but they got Jokic and they got Murray out there. That's the Denver Nuggets right there. So that's kind of how I look at it. But again, to go back and answer the question directly, I do think the Spurs take home court. And sorry, Wolves fans, if you watching, I apologize. Y'all know how I feel. But I did have the Spurs winning this series and winning the championship, so I got to stick with that. What I would love to see, I can't wait to get to OKC, but I would love to see the Timberwolves win this series and go to the finals. I would love to see it, or at least match up with OKC in the conference finals. I would love to see it because I think they'd be more prepared for that matchup, given Anthony Edwards' injury progresses and doesn't get worse, because that does happen from time to time.
No
right?
J-Dub.
Right. But at the end of the day, no J-Dub. But at the end of the day, I just can't. I unfortunately cannot foresee it happening.
Finally, bro. I mean, watching the score. It was 18-3, bro. And now it's 18-6. I mean, it just look a little better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, do look a little better.
There's 3 minutes and 45 seconds left in this quarter, and they are 2 from 16 from the field.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, and like I said, I don't think at home they continue to shoot that bad. There's no way they continue to play this bad.
It's early, but
at the crib, I just can't see it. But
start, though.
Speaking of it being early, man, the Cavs are in a bit of a hole right now, down 0-2 against the Detroit Pistons. I know Carl somewhere in the chat going crazy. Gotta ask you, the Pistons resilient, man. They just came back from down 3-1, down, what was it, 25? What was that in game? What was that, game 6? They were down like something like that. Something crazy like that. Came all the way back. Magic couldn't make a shot. They came all the way back, won that game, then came back and won game 7 right at the crib. And now they riding that wave and that momentum into this Cavs series. And they got the Cavs going back to Cleveland, trying to find a way to get back in this series. So I gotta ask you, Joe, do you think the Cleveland Cavaliers are in trouble down 0-2?
Nah, not yet. All the Detroit Pistons did was hold down home court. So I gotta say, the Cavaliers, the James Harden thing is kicking in right now. You know what I mean? Like having more turnovers right now. But we gotta see what happens in the when they go home. Because they played 2 close games against the Pistons when they didn't really play well as a team, in my opinion, Cavaliers. You look at yesterday's game, I said, this is what I was about to mention earlier in the last conversation, the last segment. I was telling Carl this, Donovan Mitchell came out with a point to be aggressive last night. And you watch game 1, he was how he was all series. You know what I mean? The 22-point game in the playoffs, Donovan Mitchell. Like, no, Donovan Mitchell, we need you to get to that 30-point. So he came out swinging, but the rest of the team was clack, clack, miss, turnover. It was just looked tough for Cleveland to do anything.
Right.
But Donovan Mitchell kept being aggressive, and then what ended up happening? He ended up kept playing well, and the rest of the guys followed along, and they took the lead, and they had momentum. But the difference in the series is Cade Cunningham, bro. Cade Cunningham is ascending to top 5ish player, bro. He might go to that after this year, depending on how they finish this playoff run. He might become a top 5 player in the NBA. AJ, what he's doing in the fourth quarter is ridiculous. We saw we did in the fourth quarter against Orlando. I think he had close to 20 points in the fourth quarter, right? And then we watched yesterday. He was like a Deja. He was non-aggressive all game. And I remember in the chat, I'm like, yo, K, where you at? And then he hit a 3. I'm like, finally. Then he hit another 3. Then he hit a floater. Then he hit a layup. Then he hit another 3. I'm like, then they just came in bunches. And he just closed them out. And that's what you need for your superstar. And that's when guys like, he had 24. Look, it's all the car. He had 24 in the fourth quarter, bro. That's crazy.
No,
so,
I think that was the comment to say that they were down 24.
Oh, no, it's only 24. Wow, bro. That's crazy.
It was close. The number's close, though.
You know what I mean? I see that picture in the background. I'm like, that's some Kobe stuff, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But Carter helped me out how many points he had in the fourth quarter. But my whole thing is that the Detroit Pistons, they have a hard time at times scoring.
Yes.
Against this, even against this Cavs team, they go through stretches when you like, dang, the offense, where the offense at? But they got Cade Cunningham. That's what you need as a superstar. You watched OKC last year. Although all year, AJ, they look unbeatable, right? But there were moments in certain series when you like, dang, they can't score right now. And then SGA will get them a bucket.
Right.
That's what your superstar is supposed to do. And Cade Cunningham is doing that. And Cade is showing us that on 3 different levels. We talking about the 3-point shot is cashing in this playoffs. The mid-range, like he doing a little SGA push off too, and going to the basket. Even game 1, in the fourth quarter, they take Cade out and they go multiple possessions without getting a bucket. James Harden hits a floater, and they get in the rhythm. They make a run, and we all in the chat like, yo, put Cade back in the game, right? I know you just took him out, but put him back in the game. He comes in the game and creates 3 baskets. It's off of this penetrating, dumping. Jalen Durant got like 3 straight buckets off of Cade creating the offense. And that's what superstar does. That's what they do. So before the series started, full backstory. Just like AJ had the Knicks. I had the Cavaliers, all right? I had the Cavaliers, but this was before the James Harden trade. I had the Cavaliers get in there. And then even after the James Harden trade, I felt a little better because I felt like James Harden is an upgrade from Darius Garland, which I still do, because for all I know, Darius Garland might be hurt right now based on his playoff history.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Detroit, though, because I do think the Cavs can bounce back. But just the matchup, defensively, they have 0 bodies for Cade Cunningham. 0 bodies for Cade Cunningham. You know, they have nobody to guard him. And in my surprise, after he had the series he had in the first series, Jalen Duren, he had his first double-double in Game 7. And so far in both games, he had double-double in both of these games. He's playing much tougher, much harder against, I thought would be a tougher matchup.
Yeah.
For real. You know, so And I heard J-Mo say this in the R2O show, but the key matchup on here is Tobias Harris and Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley has to win that matchup for them to win this series, in my opinion. And James Harden cannot have more turnovers than points. Did you know James Harden? I got a stat for you. All right. Look.
I think I already know what stat you about to read.
Look. You know, it's funny, AJ. Like I told you, I told you. James Harden now has 46 playoff games in his career, with as many or more turnovers than made field goals. That's over 25% of his career playoff games. That's crazy. The bearded one, they call him, by the way. So I got Detroit, and I'm gonna say Detroit in 6. I think Cleveland will win 2 games, but Detroit in 6.
It's moments like these where I hate to veer off topic slightly, but it's moments like these where I'm not going to lie, I completely dismiss any conversation with James Harden and Dwayne Wade. I completely dismiss it. I get tired of hearing people say it. I get tired of the comparisons. They are 2 completely different players, even down, you know, as they age. They're 2 completely different players. You cannot trust James Harden the same way you trust D Wade, especially in their primes. I mean, D Wade was ridiculous, but that's a conversation for another day. When it comes to this series, before the series started, I also had the Cavs winning this series. I had a little bit of faith in the Cavs just because of what I saw the Pistons do last round against the Orlando Magic. Nobody expected them to be in a dogfight in a Game 7, down 3-1 at one point to the Orlando Magic. And I thought to myself, I just don't know if they have enough to beat Cleveland. Like, I don't know if they're going to be able to get enough from the supporting cast. We know Cade is Cade. You already said it. Cade Cunningham is looking like, you know, he could end up being a top 5 guy, you know, before the end of the playoffs is over with. We might put him in those. We probably will be putting him in those conversations. He was already an MVP candidate in the regular season. But the rest of the guys was taking a little bit too long to come along, right? Now, Cleveland also struggled with the Raptors a little bit more than we both anticipated, but I had a little bit more faith in the surrounding cast around Donovan Mitchell and the Cleveland Cavaliers than I did around Cade Cunningham, right? So I picked the Cavs in 6 games. Now I wish I could go back on it. But I won't say Cleveland is in trouble. I agree with you from that standpoint. And the reason why I'm saying that mainly is for one, they're going home. Role players play better at home, right? I expect Harden to at least give you a game at home. I expect Donovan Mitchell to give you another game at home. But besides the Cleveland Cavaliers, what we've seen from the Pistons at home, the role players playing the way they're playing, I don't expect to see it in Cleveland. Can I count on Duncan Robinson to play as well in Cleveland? I'm not 100% sure. Jalen Duran, before the playoffs started, I'd have been like, yeah, that's no brainer. He's going to play well. After what I saw in the Orlando Magic series, I don't know if I can count on that. And like you said, Joe, it's a tougher matchup on that front line than it was going against, you know, the Magic. So do I expect him to continue to play well on the road? You know, I'm not sure. Jenkins, you know, coming off the bench getting buckets. I just think that they're playing at a very, very high level. Cade is doing his thing. He's getting everybody involved, you know, and he's producing. They're at their best when he's giving you 25 points, but you get, you know, 21 from Tobias Harris, who's been really consistent for the most part all playoffs long. Tobias, I don't know what's gotten into Tobias Harris since he became a Piston, but Tobias he been playing lights out, low key. It's been a little shocking to see how well he's been playing. So shout out to him. But like I said, they're at their best when he's giving you, you know, 15 to 20. When Thompson can give you, you know, 10 to 15. When Duncan can give you, you know, maybe a 20-point game, but anywhere from 10 to 15, and he's shooting efficiently from the floor. Like, they're at their best, right? They're at their best when everybody's pitching in and playing well. They're at their worst when you see Cade going off at 38 and nobody's with him. And this is what I foresee happening in Cleveland. I think in Cleveland, the Cavs will play better with their back against the wall. I think Donovan Mitchell will play better. I think Evan Mobley will play better. Like I said, I expect Harden to pick up his game to an extent. You know, I think Max Strus is going to hit some shots from the outside. I think they get back in this series. But like I said, if I had to change my pick, I would leave it at the Pistons. Because, again, James Harden, bro. How many times have How many times have I told you, Joe? Now, most of the time, this happens towards the end of the series. This is happening in the beginning of the series now, where he just like here one game, going the next. In my opinion, he ain't showing up in any of the games so far to start this series. 4 turnovers one game, 7 turnovers the next. I think one game, what was he shot? 0-6 from the tray. You know, like I don't know what's up with James Harden at all. You can't trust him, so I will change my pick to the Pistons if I could, but I won't do that at all to the fans. I picked the Cavs initially. I'm gonna stick with the Cavs in 6, unfortunately. We go see how this goes. We're gonna play it out like that. But no, I do not believe they're in trouble yet.
I do want to. Hey, what's up, my boy? I do want to say this though, get you excited a little bit. Andy Edwards scored 12 straight points. It's 23-22.
There it is. There it is, Ant. He woke up. He said, "Yeah, nah, we ain't going for this. We ain't going for this." There you go. Like I said,
play out hard in full effect.
Yeah, Wolves get the dub tonight. I got them getting a dub tonight.
I do want to say this though. What you said about Jalen Duran, I just praise him for, like I said, his last game. I said, yeah, he had a double all series until game 7. And the first 2 games he got double. Now I'm thinking about it. You right. All 3 of them games were at home.
Yep.
Oh, like we haven't seen him on the road yet against this Cavaliers team. And you know, in Cleveland, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be crazy. Down 0-2. It's gonna get crazy, man. So that's a good point, because on the road against Orlando, they struggled until they came back from that 3-1 lead. Until that collapse happened. Outside of that collapse, they didn't win on Orlando. Yeah. So let's see what happens tomorrow night. Well, tomorrow afternoon.
Right.
Afternoon. So
Facts.
Let's see. But
100%.
Now you are a Timberwolves supporter.
Yes.
But you are a Laker then. You are a Laker, man. And the Lakers right now, they down 0-2 against the Thunder. So are the Cavs, though. I mean, we say they not in trouble, right? They down 0-2. They're not in trouble. They're the lower seed. They the 4 seed too. You know what I mean? Look at number 1 seed. The Lakers can't be in trouble, but they going against OKC.
Yeah.
You know, and don't get me wrong, LeBron James doing this thing. You know, the others I can't say too much about, but he doing this thing. SGA hasn't really been SGA yet.
Yeah.
But they still up 2-0. So AJ, going back to LA tomorrow night. People are saying the OKC Thunder will sweep the Lakers. Now, the conversation, which is sad, is not even are they in trouble. The conversation, which is sad, is not even can they win. The conversation is, will they get swept? That's a dub for itself. So AJ, will the Thunder sweep the Los Angeles Lakers?
All right. Coming off of the Rockets series, right, where we saw the Los Angeles Lakers go up 3-0, right? We saw them go up 3-0. Role players playing well. Bron doing his thing. They gave up the 2 games, but then they came out, you know, on the road in Houston. Bron, big time game. Closed them guys out. Marcus Smart playing well down the stretch, right? Closed them guys out. I went into this OKC series thinking to myself, okay, Luka may be back. If they can extend this series, there's a chance. At the time, before the reports came out that he really ain't make no progress or whatever the case may be.
Why you go to Spain?
I'm like, okay, he's got a chance. We extended the Houston series to 6 games, gave him even more time. If he's back, you know, if we could, you know, get this to, you know, 6, maybe 7, Luka will be back for those 2 games and it could be a series. And so in full disclosure, I picked OKC to win this series in 6 games.
Ooh.
That was my prediction. Okay. I picked OKC to win this series in 6 games because I liked what I saw from the Lakers role players. And you know what, Joe? All day I've been trying to figure out, do I want to be delusional? Do I want to be delusional or do I want to just keep it 100? I think I'm going to keep it 100. Everybody know I'm a Lakers fan. Everybody knows I want the Lakers to win, at the very least, extend the series. To answer the question directly, no, the Lakers ain't getting swept. Ooh, I'm not willing to say the Lakers are getting swept. But what I will say is they got no shot. They got no shot in this series, right? they don't have enough. At the end of the day, they simply don't have enough. OKC is too strong. OKC is too physical. OKC is too fast. Too fast, right? Their best player, our best player, in my opinion, at this point is LeBron. I'm not giving it to Austin Reeves. I think our best player is LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh, you saying you agree? Yeah. Because when LeBron was in that third role on the team, it was like people were saying, "Give me Luka, give me Austin, then LeBron." But now it's like
real quick. I think to me, it was like that because Austin Reeves, he can't bring nothing else to the table, bro. To get the best out of Austin Reeves, you got to do this. But go ahead.
100%. So, at the end of the day, I look at OKC. Like I said, they're young, they're fast, they're the defending champions. They don't even have Jalen Williams, bro. And this dude, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't watched a lot of Ajae Mitchell.
Oh yeah.
But, oh my goodness, bro. Like he just filling in for him perfectly, bro. It's like you don't even realize Jalen Williams ain't there. It's like, yo, what's going on? The Lakers, at this point, they need a perfect game. They need LeBron to give you about 25 to 30. They need, and it has to be efficient. It can't just be any 25. It's got to be an efficient 25 to 30. They need Reeves to give you another 30 like how he did last game. Then they need one or two role players, which I think will happen at home. They need one or two role players, whether it be Marcus Smart finally getting it going in this series because he's been struggling, or Luke Kennard, who's come down to earth completely. Oh my gosh, he's just not the same player he was a week or so ago. One of these players, or DeAndre Ayton, where you at? Oh my God, I mean, he getting killed out there. Aiden just a waste of space out there sometimes. He was really solid, I felt like, in the Rockets series. Now, I mean, he can't do nothing with Chet. Check him outside that paint. It's a wrap. Any switch you get on Chet doing his thing. Gave you 22 last game, right? So, I said that to say, if you can get a big game from LeBron and a big game from Reeves and one or two of these role players step up, I think you got a real shot at winning on the road. Because OKC, if you remember, last year, and I get it, it's a completely different team. The Wolves are not the Lakers. Let's get that out there now. Mm-hmm. But I will never forget, they were not the same team in Minnesota as they were in OKC. They were not. They came out, got smoked in Game 3. Now, Jalen Williams and SGA went crazy in Game 4, but their role players were nowhere to be found. And the only reason why they won that game is because they did a great job defending Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle, right? So that's how I'm looking at it. SGA can have a game. But these other guys can't play the way they've been playing. These other guys can't, these other guys, Chet can't go off. Ajae Mitchell can't go off. Caruso can't be getting big time steals and making big time steals. Like these other guys can't go off the way they've been going off against us. The last thing I want to say is this. I know a lot has been made about the officiating. And to be quite frank, I do believe it plays a part. I do. But we talk about this all the time, Joe. Great teams get the calls. That's just the facts. The Eagles, when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, the Eagles that year and the following year, we was getting some calls. Last year we was getting some calls. We was getting some favorable calls and some non-calls. I know a lot of us ain't gonna admit it, but we were. I was some games where that Detroit game, right? That last play, that pass that went to AJ Brown, where they caught that pass interference. I mean, it was stuff like that. That was like, okay, that was a little shaky, but we'd take it, right? The Lakers, when they was winning big-time games, when they had Shaq and Kobe, the Lakers were getting calls. Golden State, I mean, they ran illegal screens. I know that hurts as a Kings fan. I know. The Lakers were, Kobe and Shaq, they was getting us calls. The Golden State Warriors, when they was on their run, Draymond Green setting illegal screen after illegal screen to get Steph Curry wide open. They got that all game long. And so a lot of teams that have that championship pedigree and that are the staple of the sport at that point in time, they're gonna get the calls. You just kind of gotta live with that. But what I will say to the Los Angeles Lakers is stop complaining about it. At this point, we know what it is. We know what it is. This is an issue, not to go back to the previous series, this is an issue I had with Julius Randle the other night, right? Because you get disengaged or get mad about a non-call, then you don't get back. And the Spurs get the ball off a bucket and just before you can even set your defense up, they down court getting a bucket. And the similar thing happens with the Lakers at times. It's like you're not gonna get the calls. That's just what it is. What you need to do though, Los Angeles Lakers, you just need to meet that physicality. If they gonna call it, make it be a real foul. Or I'm going to really foul you, SGA. I'm going to really knock you to the ground. I ain't going to give you, that ain't a flop. We really knocked his ass to the ground. That's just what it is. Same thing with Chet. Chet, you throw an elbow at Chet, you whiff at his face, and he all of a sudden flopping all over the place. Okay, next time, I hate to beat this guy. Next time you get that ball, down on that block, DeAndre, swing that ball back. Oh, I got him. You know what I mean? Like, if they're going to call it anyway, make them earn it. At the end of the day, you got to do something to muck the game up. You got to do something because you don't have enough. You don't have the talent. So you got to go other ways. You got to muck it up, right? You got to out-hustle them. You have to out-rebound them. You can't give them second chance opportunities. The little things have to happen on top of the big things in order for you to have a remote shot at getting a game or two in LA. But I'm going to say this. This is where the delusion kicks in. I'm going to keep my prediction the exact same. I think the Lakers get 2 games. I think the Lakers get 2 games. I think they get game 3 in LA. And to be real with you, I wouldn't be shocked if they get game 4. I think it's over with after that. I think the Lakers role players will play at an extremely high level at home. I do. I think Luke Kennard is going to play well. Rui Hachimura, I haven't mentioned him yet. Rui been lights out from the outside. He been lights out. So I think he continues to play well. I think back against the wall in a game 3, understanding that your season is pretty much over if you lose this game. I think Bron steps up and play extremely well. I just think they're going to play a lot better on the road, right? They're not going to make OKC sweat because I don't think OKC even takes the Lakers serious, to be honest. So they're not going to let them sweat. I think they're going to come out real lackadaisical in game 3. I wouldn't be shocked if we see it again in game 4. And once it become a bit of a series, they're like, all right, let's get rid of these guys. But I fully expect the role players for the Lakers to play better. In SGA to do his thing both game 3 and game 4 because he's due. I gotta see Ajae Mitchell keep going off to believe it, bro. I gotta see it, bro. I gotta see it. I gotta keep seeing Caruso and these other dudes, Lou Dort. I gotta keep seeing these dudes go crazy on us to believe that they finna just come out and just smack us around like this, all series long and in LA. OKC is one thing, on road is different. So no, they not sweeping the Lakers. The Lakers not winning the series unless somehow Luka comes back and plays out of his mind. But they not sweeping the Lakers. Nope, I'm not going for it, Joe.
Hey, man. Before the series, I obviously got OKC. Obviously. Now, do I have them in the sweep? Yeah, I do have them getting swept. But I'd be surprised if they don't get swept. They might get a game because OKC slips sometimes. They slipped against Memphis. Lost by like 30 against Memphis. Lost by 30 against Timberwolves last year. Went game 7 with the Nuggets. Went game 7 with the Pacers. Don't get me wrong. This is a different OKC team. We're talking about OKC team who are champions now. Against the Suns, SGA had to drop 40-some points for them to win that game. So anything can happen. But AJ, it's scary because SGA hasn't even showed up yet.
I think they're doing a great job with him defensively.
They are doubling him every single time he get the ball. Mm-hmm. And the first game, you could tell he was just like, he was having a turnover. He was like, yo, what am I doing? All right. For the first game, he had SGA had 7 turnovers. He had 3 last game. But what's funny? He's not SGA, but he's still shooting 53% from the field.
Yeah.
Now let me address the fouls. I don't know if you know this, AJ. Mm-hmm. In the regular season, the OKC Thunder are 17th in free throw attempts in the NBA. Okay. The Lakers are 2nd. Did you know in these very playoffs, OKC is shooting 22 free throws a game? The Lakers are shooting 24 a game. In this series, OKC is shooting 19, the Lakers shooting 17. It's not the free throws. That's why they losing. Everybody keep crying about the free throw. Oh, the free throw. Oh, my God. Don't get me wrong. They flopping. But the whole NBA flop. Do y'all realize you got Marcus Smart on your team? You realize you got Austin Reeves on your team who flop every time they shoot a jump shot? So it's part of the NBA. You got to deal with it. Now, if it was a big free throw description, like we talking about Lakers and Kings when they shot 27 free throws in the fourth quarter when Shaq and Kobe was there and they stole game 6 from us when we should have won a series and won championship that year. But that's a long story, though. You talking about that, then that's something to cry about. But this ain't nothing to cry about. Why y'all losing? They shooting better than y'all. They shooting like 52%. Y'all shooting like 44%. Y'all turn the ball over more. Yes. They take care of the ball better than y'all. They just are better, like you said, AJ. They're better. And like the games have been close, they just pull away. It's like you watch the game, right? And you're like, oh, Lakers got a chance, okay. And then out of nowhere, you can't sustain that long of a game because the teams are not just that good enough to sustain against OKC. Eventually, you're going to crumble and they're going to fly away. Now, I do want to say this about DeAndre Ayton. A lot of things DeAndre Ayton is getting is like drive and like dump balls.
Yeah, or live.
They need to give him the ball and let him create his own shot. That's the type of player he is. Now, I get it. Like, I saw a couple of times y'all dumped it off, and he trying to go up immediately with chat, and it's like, bro, let's give him the ball and let him do something. Yeah, let him create his own shot, or set him up when he can catch a good open look, like in the paint, like a little mid-range. Like, that's what they did in Portland. That's all I get it. You got away with the Rockets. This ain't the Rockets. This is OKC. This is a whole different breed. Sengun is not an elite defender. Chad is, though. It's a whole different beast Aiden is dealing with right now. So against OKC, he's probably the biggest dude on the court. To be honest with you, the tallest dude on the court. But against OKC, it's not the case no more. So JJ Redick got to switch some things up. And another thing about OKC, they are well coached. You watch them play, they realize SGA is being doubled, and SGA, the unselfish superstar he is, he gives it up. Like he gets off the ball, and they do a great job of passing the ball around, moving the ball around, and creating an open shot just off of ball rotation. So they are well coached. They're doing a great job. But I got OKC sweeping y'all. Would I be surprised if y'all had a good game and win? And I don't think people keep saying I can see LeBron going, bro. You're not going to win that way. Y'all going to win because Marcus Smart is hot from three, Rui is hot from three. All like y'all just raining three. Y'all just hot offense with the team. That can happen in one game in LA. But do I see it happening? It can happen, but I don't see it happening because my boy Sega hasn't even showed up yet. And you know he watching K. He like, hold up, K leading the points and assists? Nah. Hold my beer. Go ahead.
Like I said, I think he's gonna have a game. I think he's gonna have multiple games in this series, but I think the games where he's gonna have them are gonna be in LA, and I really don't know. Again, I don't want to disrespect the champs. They are the champs for a reason. But I really want to see how they look in. I want to see how the players around SGA look in LA. I think it's gonna be a difference. It might not. You might be right. It might not be a different. It might not be a sizable enough difference for the Lakers to actually win, right? But I do expect their role players to naturally, just off the fact that they're on the road, play a little worse, play a little down, and the Lakers role players to play a little bit better. To the fouls thing, listen, I get it. We could talk the numbers all day long, but sports are about moments. Sports are about moments. It's about when the fouls occur or when the non-calls occur. Now, again, I didn't come on today's show to complain about the referees, all right? So I'm not going to go down and feel like, well, this was a momentum shifting call or non-call. I feel like there was a few moments in the game where momentum was shifted in the opposite direction. But at the end of the day, that's how you know the Lakers' margin for error is so slim. My guy up here, he said it. All the things that you got to do to beat OKC. You got to limit the turnovers. You got to limit the transition points. You got to make it a half-court game. You got to control the glass. You got to slow the game down. These are a lot of things that you got to manage against an the OKC team that is just flat out better. So if a momentous call comes or a momentous non-call comes, that can shake up everything. Now, this is where I go back to LeBron. You are the leader of this team at the end of the day. No matter when the call is made or when it's not called, you need to keep this team focused on the task at hand. Go into these games not expecting to get the calls. Go into these games, we know we're not going to get these calls. I don't care if we're playing in LA. I don't care if we're playing in OKC. I don't care if we're playing in the Bahamas. I don't care what we're playing at. We're not going to get these calls. Let's come into these games expecting not to go to the free throw line at the end of the day. That's the type of mindset that you got to have. And you got to go out there and you have to be physical, right? Like I said, it's okay for SGA to do his thing, kind of like the Jokic thing. It's okay for SGA to do his thing. SGA is SGA. At some point, he's going to do his thing. It's almost to the point where, again, back to the Jokic comparison, I almost want to stop trapping and doubling SGA. I want to focus on making sure these other guys don't get these clean looks. If SGA go off for 40, but the rest of these guys shoot 30% from the field, we'll take it. We'll take it. SGA go off for 35 to 40 points, but the rest of these guys not showing up, we'll take it because it's going to take more than just SGA going off to win playoff games. He's going to need other guys to step up and play well.
Right.
And so that's especially on the road, where, again, you expect the Lakers role players to play a tick better, right? Especially with their backs against the wall as well. And so, like I said before, would I be shocked if the Lakers got swept? Absolutely not. For the people who follow me on Twitter, my ad is right there. Last night I tweeted I ain't even about to watch no more of this series. It was a very emotional tweet. I was irritated. I'm tired. I'm tired of watching the Lakers play without Luka. I'm tired of watching the Lakers play without Luka Doncic. It is killing me that Luka is not available. And then this is what kills me too, Joe. The sidetrack. They got Luka in all the commercials. They got Luka in all the advertisements. And I'm just sitting there like, man. Even my wife like, man. Even my wife looking like, man, they ain't right, bro. Like, why they keep showing that man like that? Like, man, you didn't tell me. Seriously. Like, can you get the man out of all the advertisements? Like, he not playing. All right? He's sitting over there on the bench cheering us on. Can't do nothing about it. I mean, oh my goodness. And yeah, that's Luka right now. That's a story for a whole nother day. Because how at one point they said that he was gonna be back before Reeves. All of a sudden, he ain't made no progress. He just now starting to jog a little bit.
Why you going? But I do want to bring this up too. You made a great point about LeBron. Mm-hmm. Now, am I mad at LeBron for doing this? No, I feel like he like tested waters. Like, remember he got mad at the ref. Like he felt like he got fouled, which he did, and he spazzed. Like he was like. Sometimes you kind of got to do that to get their attention, and it didn't work. Like he didn't get attacked, or like it just didn't work.
Yeah.
But then he started jawing with Caruso at the line. You know what I mean about it. You know, so complaining about it now going forward ain't gonna work. Back then when Jordan and them would lose to the Pistons, this is a moment that on the Last Dance they felt like this was a switch for them when they used to get beat up by the Pistons, and they used to complain. Like complain. And one time Scotty got clocked, boom, fell down. And then everybody went to see what happened. He just got up, walked to the free throw line, didn't say nothing. And they said when he did that, we got him. We got him. You know what I mean? Like it was over because we didn't complain. We didn't like, oh look at you. He got up, went to the free throw line because they expected that to happen. They knew this was happening this whole series, so they expected it and they just dealt with it. And they ended up sweeping Detroit after that. So you're right. The Lakers got to come into this thing and like, yo, we not like if they feel like the refs on their side, the refs is on their side. That's cool. We not gonna win. Let JJ do that. Right. For us on the court, let us. When I play basketball, my coach always told us, "Let me deal with the refs. You deal with winning the game. I got the refs. You don't argue with the refs. I got that part for you. So you just focus on executing and winning that game." But like I said, they got to get Ayton more touches outside of that paint, in my opinion. Bring Chat out because Ayton got a little nice shot. Bring Chat out the paint. Yeah. You know, so man, role players play better at home. They play better at home. So let's see what happens. And
I did want to mention it, Carl. Jared McCain, bro.
Man.
He another one of them players, dude. And I remember at the deadline, I said I think the OKC Thunder win the trade because they got McCain. McCain is a dog, but he another one of them players, man, that you just watch, and much respect to him, but it brings me back to the Nuggets series. I want to see how he played the rest of this playoffs because I feel like when certain players play the Lakers. Or maybe it's just when they play LeBron. They play just out of this world, bro. 18 points in 18 minutes, bro.
Bro, he played 12 minutes the whole first series.
Bro. Now he out here just every shot he geeked to. Every play he make. I'm just like, you got to be kidding me.
He came in the game yesterday. It took his first shot. He cashed. I'm like, dang.
Bro. Deep, too. Deep. Yeah. I'm like, dog, you got to be kidding me right now. Like, they all got it. That's why, but this is why I say, it starts with game 3. Lakers, if you can get game 3, it could get a little interesting. Because again, I keep going back to that Wolves series. That Wolves series got dicey, and if the Stars showed up, that'd have been at least a 6-game series. So I just feel like as far as the Lakers are concerned, I think the Lakers do have enough if the role players play well to get a game. If you can get game 4, you make my season. You make my season if you push it to 6 games.
And look, my last point would be this. Playing in LA, as like you said, I want to see how the OKC Thunder role players play in LA. Playing in LA is different from playing in Phoenix. Believe that. The star is gonna be out.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna see all them celebrities on the first row.
Yep.
You're gonna see like it's just a different feeling playing in LA. But the stars show up in LA. Like that's when guys like SGA show out.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
expect. I mean, don't double them. You're right. Just don't double them. Let's see what the role players do. Just expect a 40 or 35 piece from SGA. That's all you gotta expect SGA go crazy. And if he win and he go crazy, it's gonna make it worse. All the SGA haters call him foul baited. They're gonna be mad at these last 2 games. Let's know that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you respect it, but you at a certain point you accept the fact that he's gonna get his at some point in the series.
Yes.
He ain't gonna stay. He wasn't even going off like that, like typical SGA last series. So he due for like some huge.
He did.
40 point.
He dropped 42 when he missing 2 shots. I mean, that was one game.
Which game was that?
I guess Phoenix was game 3.
Okay. I'm about to say he hasn't. From what I've seen, he ain't had a bunch of crazy SGA like games so far. In the playoff. Well, he gave you 37, 42, 30. All right, I take that back. All right, against us.
But look, that 42-point game, bro, he cooked.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, look, AJ, I was watching him.
I didn't realize he was cooking the Suns like that. Goodness
gracious. AJ, like, go back and refresh your memory, bro. When I was watching it, bro, he looked like the boy behind you. I'm dead serious, bro. Like I would show my son that game, and I was like, boy, Dylan Brooks started doing this to SGA. He started guarding him like that.
Yeah.
And I said, Jameer, let me show you this game real quick. I went to Lakers versus Houston. Shea Battier. Like, show my son Kobe. That's what SJ reminded me of that game. And we might look the next 2 games, bro. I'm telling you, about to go crazy, bro. Look, like you said, your best bet is to do what you did because although game 1, he was turning the ball over.
Yeah.
Game 2, he had 3 turnovers, which is a lot for SGA. He only averaging 2. But 3 turnovers, AJ. But think about this. He's not scoring like he is, but he's still shooting good.
He is.
So he's shooting over 50%.
Along
with everybody else playing, like when everybody else getting their touches and they getting their shots up, they feeling good. And on top of that, SGA is still efficient. Like, are you really winning like that?
And again,
like you said, you would rather SGA take a bunch of shots and everybody else is like cold and like out of rhythm the whole game.
Yep. And at the end of the day, too, you got to switch up the looks that he's getting anyway. You can't keep giving him the same look you've been giving him game after game because eventually he's going to figure that out. He's going to kill you either way. So in this game, you got to switch it up. You got to, you got to throw Marcus Smart at him, throw Rui at him, throw some guys at him, switch it up, and just say, hey, SGA, we went from SGA not going to beat us to now SGA going to have to beat us. These other guys, we can't let Chet and AJ and all these other dudes eat. We just can't. It's a
difference. I know you compare it to Jokic. The difference is Jokic wants to pass. SGA wants to score.
That's fair. That's fair.
You kind of playing up his alley doing that.
But I think the best way to beat them at this point, especially without J-Dub, is to play that way. Because in the past you could count on J-Dub to play big if you double in and collapsing on SGA. You can kind of count on that. I'm not 100% willing to count on AJ Mitchell to step into that role in LA. So he got to show me that. Now if he shows us that, then it's like, all right, JJ, we emptied the clip. We tried to double him, it didn't work out. We tried to trap him. It didn't work out. We tried some zone. It didn't work out. Then we just said, all right, we just going to play up on the rest of these guys and we're going to let SGA cook if that's what he decides to do. And you still lose. At that point, as a Laker fan, I could live with, all right, we tried everything. But I think at this point, you got to give the reins to Marcus Smart, get the reins to Rui, get the reins to some of your best defenders, and just tell them, hey, try to make his job as tough as you can make it. Maybe here and there, throw some traps and some, switch it up throughout the game. But for the most part, let him do what he's gonna do because their similarities, maybe not in their play from Jokic to SGA, but there are similarities in the team.
Yeah,
Nuggets at their best when everybody hitting, when KCP was hitting, when Michael Porter Jr. was hitting, when Jamal was hitting, when Aaron Gordon was hitting, when Brown was hitting, all them dudes playing well, it's over with. But if it's just Jokic, you got a shot. And it's the same thing with SGA. SGA, a natural scorer, let him score. let him make it tough, but he's gonna be him. Shut the rest of these guys out, man. Like, do something with the rest of these. I mean, my goodness, do something about Jared McCain. Like, come on, bro. Like, come on now. And last thing I'll say, stop giving these guys second chance opportunities, bro. When the ball
That's the
bounce
last
off
thing
the
you want to
rim,
do.
when the ball bounce off the rim, get the ball, slow the pace of the game down. Because the thing about the Lakers, again, they play old. So it's like when OKC gets an offensive rebound and swing it out to that 3-point line, they don't get out there fast enough. Oftentimes they just sit there and watch. Like, damn, I can't believe we just gave up that rebound. Here goes the three. Like, it's just like they accept the fate instead of going out there and trying to contest or trying to get a steal. Only player I see consistently doing it is Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart, always on the ground. He always going for loose balls. He always play hard. But the rest of them dudes, bro, they just watch. Dang, they got the rebound. Oh, here go a three. Dang, oh, there go a dunk. Oh, look, Jared McCain. Oh, it's like,
Yeah, bro. The key stat is you kind of got to treat it kind of like Houston, like because Houston advances were points or turnovers. Y'all got to take care of the ball and dedicate getting back. Like you know what I mean? Like put more emphasis on stopping the transition baskets. But if y'all take care of the ball and win a rebounding a game, then y'all could definitely win. Y'all can definitely win, or at least make it close down to the wire, give y'all a chance to win the game. But when y'all turn the ball over and losing in the rebounding, that's when it gets like, all right, y'all not even gonna have a chance to win the game.
100%.
Yeah, so
I'm with you.
Great show, man.
Yes,
This was fun, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. We should do this more often, honestly. But great show, my boy AJ. My last words are: shout out to the whole Refuse to Lose Sports Network. Shout out to my boy Carl. Carl, if not now, he's close. He has his first segment video to hit 1,000 views. I think it hit 1,000. I gotta double check, but I know it's like 900 some change. So shout out to Carl CTC for that. But yeah, my boy Coach Coombs, he changed his name from FFC Fantasy Football with Coach to FCC Football with Coach Coombs, because he's like, we can't do fantasy all year. We could talk NFL all year though, and we could have a fantasy segment. Shout out to Coach Coombs for that. And shout out to my brother Javon once again, RBO Vaughn, for getting married. Him and his wife, Mrs. Jordan. Welcome to the family, Taniqua Jordan it is. Shout out to y'all. And have fun on your honeymoon. They're in Greece, by the way. AJ, I don't know if you know that. They're in Greece.
They lit. They lit, boy.
Thing, you know?
That's what's up.
So shout out to everybody in the R2L community and the chats and everything. Shout out to everybody that's watching on timeout or for timeout. I know you're gonna talk about AJ Birds and all that stuff. AJ Brown's rumors are coming. Look like it's definitely gonna happen post draft. I know we did have a show after the draft.
Yeah, we have.
But my last word, truly, shout out to the Nets for getting the dub today. 3 wins in a row. Shout out to the Commanders. Rookie camp started today. I'm excited. Dan Quinn was excited also. Heard my boy Sonny Styles. He doing this thing, wearing number 52. He took it back old school. They like, man, you should wear a single digit. He like, nah, man, I'm gonna take it back. Number 52. Shout out to my boy, right? Kings lottery coming up, man. Hey, Mother's Day is lottery day. Hey, let's get it, man. We need a number 1 pick, please. God, just give us something. We never had a number 1 overall pick since I've been a fan, so let's do it. And that's what I have. Let's get it.
Man, Anthony Edwards right now, 17 points, 9 rebounds. He's shooting 6 of 12 from the field. Victor Wembanyama, 15 points, 6 of 9 from the field, 9 rebounds. It is 2 minutes and look like 30 seconds left in the second quarter, and it's 45-43 Spurs. It looked like it's gonna be the Wemby and Ant show tonight.
Let's get it.
It looked like it's gonna be the Wemby and Ant show tonight, so that's gonna be fun to see. But yeah, man, shout out to everybody that tuned in. First off, shout out to my boy JJ Joe Jordan. It's always a pleasure doing the show with you, my boy. Appreciate everybody watching on my channel, Timeout or Full Timeout. Everybody watching from the R2L community. Everybody watching that has not liked or subscribed. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, comment. We appreciate all of it. We got 100 people in the building. So we appreciate all of y'all, tuning in to this week's episode, man. Now at 101, we definitely appreciate it, bringing y'all hot content every single week. Right now, focus on the NBA playoffs. Lakers, man, like I said, the first thing you could do is limit turnovers. Let's just focus on not turning the ball over. I know it's easier said than done against OKC because their defense is stifling. It's suffocating. They force you on it. It ain't like the Lakers just giving them the ball. I mean, OKC, they be forcing them turnovers, right? So, listen, take care of the basketball. Stop doubling and trapping SGA. Make the role players beat you. That's just what you're gonna have to do. Brian, I need you to have a day. Reeves, I need you to have a day. And Rui, keep doing what you're doing. And like I said, I need my boy Luke Kennard to step up again. I need it. I know it's not normal for him to do it on a consistent basis. Joe making that face is like, yeah, good luck with that. I know, but we need something from you, man. But all in all, I got faith that y'all could make it semi a series, man. At least make it a little competitive, man. Don't be a joke. You know what I mean? Don't get laughed out the building. You know, especially in LA. You know, we can do this. As far as the Eagles are concerned, man, listen. From what I'm seeing, man, you know, my boy, he rocking number 9. He tried to go to Devontae Smith and get number 6. Devontae said, "You ain't getting 6, bro." So like, Makai, I'm sorry, Makai, you ain't getting 6. So he said, "Okay, you know, I'm gonna rock out with number 9." Our rookie's looking good. Ajae Brown randomly popping up at camp and all that. I don't at this point. I don't know what's going on with him, but he not talking to reporters. He not really engaging with nobody right now. So clearly, I'm assuming he's still out of the building. I trust Ajae Roseman. I trust this system that we implemented for my boy, for my dog Jay Hurts. I'm super excited for this NFL season, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for the next episode. AJ Spurs. I'm coming with some heat. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. It's coming this week. Right, and I think that's it. I wanted to say something else, but I'm brain freezing on what that was. But I'll end it by saying this, Joe. Okay, see, they got me phased. I ain't gonna lie, they got me phased. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, but Ajae Roseman, Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts, AJ's Birds, they keep me unfazed.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.